Okay. Oh. After all that, after this being like day 4, I actually forgot to put on my headphones. So that makes me laugh at myself a little bit. Hi, everybody. My name is Jo Mazgay. I am West Coast Soul. I'm coming to you live today from my page, West Coast Soul, from my community group at Shifting Women Rising. And today I've actually made the decision to put this on my own personal page because I run these circles week after week, month after month for women, for children, for community. And I ask women to step into their vulnerability. And I've yet to put it out on my own personal page. So I have to do so. I have to put it out there. I have to step into my truth to show you that you don't crumble and die when you feel vulnerable like I do right now. So, hi everybody. Thank you for tuning in. West Coast Soul is my umbrella of love. I've been telling you all week. Today we're talking about self-connection, and this is what I'm really, really excited about because everything we talk about in all our circles, in all our programs, in all our retreats, is everything comes from connection to self. If you're ready for this, I'm happy to have you here. Give me a hashtag live if you're watching live. Give me a hashtag repeat if you're watching this later. Replay, repeat, whatever makes you comfortable. I'm not that technical. I'm asking you today, give me a hashtag heart if you already feel connected to self. Because this is one that is something that makes people feel really vulnerable. So if you're not connected to self, give me a flower. Put a flower up in the comments. Let me see who's ready to blossom. Because when you find connection to self, that's exactly what happens. I'm going to start with a story, and it's a personal story, and it's an overshare, but that's what I do, whatever. Sorry, Dad. However, I'm throwing it out there because this is my story. This is what happened to me. This is me standing in my truth. And this is why at the end of it, it's all so great. Finding self-connection, being connected to self feels like coming home. It is the most amazing feeling that I've ever come across. Lack of self-connection, feeling like you're just not connected to self or to anyone else, feels like being lost. And I lived a life without self-connection for a very long time. When I was young, I didn't fit in, that proverbial black sheep, that square peg in a round hole. It just didn't fit into it. I never understood it. And I chipped and I chiseled and I tried so hard to fit in, but I always felt like it was never right. I was quite literally, that saying, the redheaded stepchild. I was the redheaded stepchild. It couldn't be more in your face than this. I learned to wear masks, to hide my feelings, and I really learned from a very young age to mimic those around me who seemed to have their shit figured out. My self-worth was based upon not letting anyone else see that I felt different, or I won't be loved, or lovable, or accepted, or heaven forbid, I actually be rejected. Nobody wants to feel that. I felt like if I let people see who I was, I'd be lonelier than I already was. I worked hard. I had a family. I had children, all blondes, of course. I had the dog, the beautiful home, everything that I was programmed to believe should make me happy. And I was still living a really unhappy life. And I wasn't in a bad situation. There's nothing worse than being in an unhappy marriage with a good person. That is the most heartbreaking thing of it all. The more my ex-husband tried to provide, the more material gains we acquired, the more disconnected I felt and I became. I was surrounded by people, and I felt completely alone. I felt like I was unseen. I felt like I was unheard, and I actually just felt like a fraud, which was the worst of it. I tried a lot of things. I tried going back to work. I tried working from home. I tried a new career, and I would still wander through chapters week after week in that self-help section, trying to find something to cure what I felt. But there was nothing there. Nothing matched how I felt. And that was really difficult because then I really felt fucked up because there wasn't even a book to describe how I felt. There was nothing to connect to. And that was really hard. My pivotal moment, my aha, I think, was in my late 30s. I was locked in the bathroom. That everybody has this story. Every mom does this. Well, not every mom, but many of us lock ourselves in the bathroom, run the shower, and just cry. And that's what I was doing. I had the shower on, and I was in the bathroom, and I was just crying. I was looking in the mirror, and I had no idea who I was. Who was this woman? Who had I become? And whose life was I living? Where did my passions go? Where did my dreams, where did my purpose go? And then it hit me. Hi, I see all your hellos. Thank you, thank you. I wasn't living my life true to me. There was nothing in my life that was authentic to me. I was living a life of shoulds. Everything was for show. I was living a life of shoulds because I was raised in the 80s, right? In the 80s, we were raised as young ladies to be grateful, to be polite. So I had all of these things to be happy about, and I was still unhappy, but I had the guilt associated with that societal pressure of not appreciating everything I had. It was just a downward spiral that I couldn't get out of. And none of these shoulds aligned with me, with what I wanted, with what my soul craved. My girlfriends wanted to go to all-inclusive retreats. They wanted to drink all day on the beach and dance all night. And that's okay. But that wasn't what I wanted. I had goals of going to volunteer in third world orphanages. I still do. I craved meaning. Here is the biggest lesson I have ever learned in my life. Professionally, personally, wherever you choose to show up, if you are not showing up authentically, you will not be happy. You will get called out. You will not be successful. And that, my friends, is an absolute fact. You live a life, you cannot live an authentic life disconnected from yourself. Growing, shifting, changing, all super uncomfortable, but the end result of being connected feels like coming home. And once I did the work, and it was a lot of work, it wasn't a little bit of work, and began living my life, it was like the next steps just kept manifesting, and life got so much better. And that's great. That's a great story. But to those of you in the shit still, as I was, it's a great big, well, that's great for you, but how did you do it? So let's talk about that. Let's just go through this a little bit, because self-connection, what is self-connection? Self-connection is after you release all the expectations that have been placed on you throughout your whole life. Who are you? No titles. You can't say mom, you can't say wife, you can't say husband, you can't say dad. I don't want your job titles. I don't care about your degrees. Who are you in your soul? Where do your desires come from? I am a divine feminine creature. I am loving, I am kind, I am compassionate, I am curious, I am worthy. I love ridiculousness. I live the most ridiculous life, and it makes me so happy. I love cheesy movies. I'm not really a Hallmark fan, but the romantic comedies make me giggle. I like campfires. I like warm weather. I seek out like-hearted souls because I am finally connected to self. And only after we know who we are and having that strong connection to self can we feel like the choices we make will give us that fulfilled life. In our relationships, career choices, family dynamics. We talked about boundaries already. We have to have the boundaries to push out the shoulds so we can stay in our self. No more me too. No more saying me too just so somebody feels like you're in agreement with them and they will like you. That's instant gratification. We're going to get to that, but it's bullshit. Release your shoulds to find your soul cravings. Connecting to self has this amazing immediate consequence on relationships with others. Connection to self will release that loneliness. Once you connect to yourself, You no longer need others. You no longer need their approval. You can draw out like-hearted people organically. And people who will fulfill you back can only be attracted to the real you. Do you know what I mean? In a world where everyone, okay, not everyone, but so many wear a mask, isn't it a privilege to see your soul? What if I invited you also to release distractions? Liquor, drugs, Netflix and wine, Netflix and chill, mind-altering shit that's all out there. There's a lot of stuff that's here to cloud us, but what if you just said, no more, and I want to honor who I am? What fears prevent us from feeling safe enough to unmask, to show who we are? Is it shame? Is it the shoulds? Is it societal standards or pressures? Is it judgment or the fear of rejection? Absolutely, that fear of rejection is out there, no matter who you are, no matter how you come from, because we are human, and humans are social creatures who crave connection. We crave community, and we fear rejection. But real connections are the ones that last. Real connections are the ones that make your soul sing. Real connections are the nights with your girlfriends where you giggle for hours and you feel seen and you feel validated. False pretenses or masks, just trying to be liked and accepted, is a weird form of instant gratification. It might feel good for that moment of, aha, she saw me, she liked me. I told her I liked to get wasted too, and now we're going to get wasted together, except, fuck, I hate being hungover. So in the moment of that connection of yeah, we're going to make plans, we're going to do these great things, but then later, it feels hollow. You feel like shit. And now you have this pretense that you have to wear because you've put on the mask. The pain of being not connected to self, to living a life of shoulds, is awful. Imagine it this way. Imagine in order to stay in a relationship where emotional connection is lacking or insincere, is continually betraying yourself. You're not honoring who you are, what you want, what makes you happy. And how does that feel right now to flip that script? As moms, we do it all day long. Mom, I want this cereal, I want this cereal, I want this cereal. Fine, I bought that cereal when really I wanted to buy the healthy cereal. Or I want to watch this on TV, I want to watch this on TV. By the time I get to watch what I want on TV, I'm too tired to watch it. We give and we give and we give, and we never fill our own cups. Who are your authentic relationships, if you're honest with yourself? Who can you sit down with and have a deep conversation? Not the acquaintances, not the surface shit, but the depth. Those are the relationships that change your life, that turn you on, that deepen your mind. And they're beautiful. When you're in a false relationship, you're blocking those out. You know, that energy, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, that energy of the negative relationships, of the unauthentic relationships, of the toxic relationships, it's like it stands around you like a shield. And when the like-hearted ones come, they can't see you. They can't feel your energy. They can't get to you because they're being blocked. They gotta go. You're not going to be lonely for releasing them. Stepping into you, and here's what I found too. The minute I stepped into me, they left anyways because they wanted no part of this. When I started saying no, people who only wanted things for me, they went to find someone else who was a yes man right away. So when you step fully, you will attract back relationships, being them romantic, platonic, jobs, life experiences, things that fulfill you. When you are authentic to you, the synchronicities are mind-blowing. And I have one to tell you about later, but we're not there yet. But there's something super, super exciting. I'm ready to share with you. But how? I know I can sit here and I can preach it and I can preach it. And you're like, that's great. You found it. I'm still in the shit. How do I do this? I got a few tips for you. This is a teaser. Our first Women's Circles is actually about connections. By coincidence, if you believe in that, by synchronicity. It wasn't planned, but next week, Thursday night, our first full-on Women's Circle, which is a full community of like-hearted women coming in and conversing. You're not just listening, you're putting your 2 cents in, is about connection. So if you're sitting here right now saying, I don't have anyone to connect with, PM me, I'll send you the link. You're connected instantly. Yoga. I am a full-figured lady. If I can do yoga, there's no reason anyone else cannot. I can't do the splits. I don't go upside down, but there is a yoga for everybody. And when you do yoga, it's an experience. It allows you to connect with your body on a whole other level. We listen to our boundaries at the same time. Because when I'm doing yoga, when I'm teaching the goddess flow, it's the journey. And if it hurts, stop. You're not here to hurt yourself. You're not here to prove yourself. I am not here in competition with the person beside me. This is an internal journey. Listen to your boundaries. Feel as you move through things. What feels good? What stretches do you enjoy? Yoga asks us to be present in our bodies. Pay attention to the sensations we feel. We find our breath. We find stillness, and we quiet our minds. Let the stories go. Yoga is an amazing way to stay connected. And I know many, many women off the top of my head, Kim, Tiffany, YouTube, there's so many options out there where you can get, even in this crazy pandemic, you can get a connected yoga program set up really easily, really minimal, financial, if not free on YouTube. There are ways if you want it. Meditation is amazing. Meditation, spending quiet time in your mind and letting go of that laundry list of shit you should be doing. I am a mom of 4 kids. My laundry list goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. However, I have learned, and it wasn't first time, it took a couple times, but I have learned that I can see my thoughts, be mindful of the thoughts, and also just let them go for later without judgment. Yeah, that sink of dishes is still there. Oh, it'll still be there when I'm done. It's not going to ever empty. I got too many kids in this house. Meditation teaches you to notice these thoughts and just release them. Just for now. And that's step 1. And all you can do is step 1. And when step 1 feels fantastic, then you go into step 2. You can learn a lot about yourself by just bringing awareness to the thoughts that come into your mind. That I promise you. You can learn a lot about what distracts you. You can learn a lot about what is important to you. And you can learn a lot about how many shoulds you can be like, not right now too. If you're comfortable with meditation, what about taking alone time? I know a lot of people who are uncomfortable being alone. I love being alone. I don't ever get to be alone. Alone time is beautiful. Learning to enjoy being alone gave me time without distractions. It gave me time to do as I wanted to do. When I'm alone, I can cook my dinner that I'm worthy of eating. I can make the big salad with the chicken and the cheese and to my delight. Because I only have to please myself right now. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't know that I think there's one dinner, and I think it's tacos, that all my kids like. And even that, they're fighting over, no, I don't want cheese. I only want lettuce and blah, 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 because that is my life. I am a mom. Being alone, what do I feel like I need? What am I craving? What am I worthy of having right now? When you're in a group, Decisions favor the majority, right? A bunch of people go out for dinner. 10 people are never going to agree, but the majority rules. That's where you're going for dinner. And even when you're in a couple, just 2 people, your decisions are generally based upon your common interests. When we are with others, we often put ourselves second to appease. But when you're by yourself, it's all about you, baby. You get to do whatever you want, eat whatever you want. You want to find connection to self? Explore, travel. Bad timing, I know. However, even exploring a new environment, I know, fucking COVID. But getting out, going to a new park, hiking a new trail, seeing things that are new. There's a million right now virtual tours of places, of museums that are online. They pop up all the time. There are so many things that you can still explore and open your mind. See the trees, see the animals, see the surroundings, and change your viewpoint, your vantage point. And the reason that this is important is because for you to change your life, you have to change. You have to get out of that comfort zone, and you have to discover what feels good, what new recipes taste good that you've never tried before, what opens your heart and makes you want to seek more, makes you want to plan that trip. You know, if that virtual tour was enough, then it was enough. But if you see something that you've never seen before and you want to explore it further, there's a bucket item list. And keep doing that until you find the things that feed your soul. If you really want to start feeling connected to self, get the fuck off autopilot. Be present. Don't just get up and go about your day after day as you always do. That doesn't feel good to anybody. What if for 24 hours, just 24 hours, you only did the things your soul screamed yes to? How does that feel? Now, you probably would have to do it on a weekend, because if you went to work and you're like, dude, boss, this is just not screaming yes to my soul right now, it might not go well. However, if it doesn't go well, are you in the right career? Are you living a life? Are you living something, a job that fills you? Maybe not. Maybe you have to discover that. But if you went for 24 hours and you only did the things that your soul screamed, oh my God, yes, to, what kind of day would you have? Where would it take you? What would you eat? Who would you speak to? It's an interesting exploration. Also, what about forgiving others for your own healing? It's uncomfortable, I know. But in the uncomfort, in the discomfort, that's where the growth is. Because when I hold on to anger to somebody who's moved on in their life, they don't care, they're gone. It only gives me tension. It only hurts me. So finding the ability to forgive for your own peace of mind is really going to help you connect to self. And here's one that's really interesting to me, especially as a parent who just go, just take it, just go. Stop rewarding yourself or your children for everything. Release the instant gratification. Work for something that sets your soul on fire. Take on a big project, chunk it down into small milestones, absolutely, but hit that goal and you will feel amazing for it. The last tidbit, the last little one I can throw at you if you really are serious about finding self-connection, is to go inward and listen within. Listen to your soul, shut off the distractions, and be comfortable in silence. When you ask yourself a question, the first thought, that first pop up, that's your heart. That's your heart saying yes or no. And then what happens is the gremlins kick in, your mind. Your mind comes up and it's trying to keep you safe. It's not trying to make you have a terrible life. Your mind is here to keep you safe. And so if I want to do something and I'm like, oh, this feels good, my head is going to go right into why I shouldn't, what's going to happen, why it's uncomfortable. Let's just shut this down right now because it doesn't feel safe to do something new. But if you can shut those gremlins off for 1 minute and go back to that first yes, that first why, you're going to do some extraordinary things because you've released the fear of ego. Ask yourself, is this mine? Is this fear mine? Do I enjoy this? Is this what's right for me? Be it a job, be it a relationship, hell, be it a new shirt. Does this serve me? Does this align with my values? What are my values? If I put out there right now, hey, what are your values? Who can comment like that? At least 3. I challenge you. There's 12 people watching right now. Give me 3 things that are values to you. I'm willing to bet not many people can do it. If I ask myself, do I like ice cream? The first answer is hell yes. Ice cream's amazing. That's my heart screaming, ah, ice cream's beautiful. And my head is going to go, it's going to make you gain weight. It's got too much sugar. Becca's going to judge you. But that's ego. My heart says, ice cream tastes good. It's hot out. Get the chocolate. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is how you find self-connection. Thank you, Christy. I like that comment. So if you want more, I'm going to tell you how to get more because that's why I'm doing this. Honestly. Women's circles start next week. January 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I think we have 10, I'm not sure. 10 scheduled topics. And we throw the topics out there and then we follow the energy of the women. So I can put out connection and I can say, we're going to talk about connection. But if a woman comes in and says, I need actually to talk about grief. Can we hold space in grief? We're going to go right and we're going to talk grief. Absolutely every time. We are looking to create, we are creating a deep community of like-hearted women who come out, they see each other, they hear each other, they validate each other, and we all grow together. Because the growth I have done since I began this journey is incredible, and I'm very grateful to the women who've held space with me to allow me to get there also. You want to be part of this community? Send me a PM. I'll get you the link just like that. It's really easy to do. On Sunday, February 7th, I'm running a workshop, a mini virtual retreat. It's a tongue twister. Try saying it. About goal setting through intentional living. You can't live intentionally, though, if you don't know your values. So we're going to go through all of that. What are your values? Do you live by them? Facebook user, honesty, family, being present. 3 amazing things. Thank you. So one person in 12 can give me 3 values like that. What is that telling you? We need to go deeper. So if you want to know more about finding your values, living intentionally, and feeling good about it, I invite you to reach out and take part of this virtual mini retreat. I did it on January 1st. I had 11 women, 1 man. Amazing, because this one is all inclusive. You don't have to be 18 plus and you don't have to be female. I don't care how you identify, you are welcome. And we had an amazing workshop, so amazing, I'm putting it out again because it was just that powerful. Goal setting through intentional living. Both of these things are on my Facebook page. Both of these things are on my website. And if you still can't find them, just shoot me a PM. I will get you there. Something that I wasn't even expecting or wasn't even looking for completely fell out of the sky to my lap. And I've been blown away. You want to talk about synchronicities? You want to talk about living an aligned life and things coming to you? I was messaged by a good friend of mine with an opportunity to write a chapter in a book. Hey, I know you live this way authentically. Hey, can you write me a chapter? Hey, can you do it in a week? Unbelievable, the synchronicity to it. Because I did write it. I wrote it in 4 hours, and then I edited it, and then I sent it in. My whole heart has been thrown out there. I'm so excited. And this launches in the spring in complete conjunction with the self-connection workshop that I'm working on putting up there right now. We're going to find you deepen that connection to you, release loneliness. And when you do that, your life will change. So in the spring, early spring, we're going to have a self-connection workshop, and it's going to be deep. Connection to your feminine, connection to your worth, connection to your relationships, all of it's in there. And then there's going to be a book that coincides with it, with a chapter all for me about living authentically. Whether you're human, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, if you're not living an authentic life, you can't be happy. And people will call you out, because I have learned by being in a spiritual community, there are a lot of inauthentic people out there. Or maybe they're just new on their journey. Whatever it is, that's fine, but that's not who I connect with. I'm looking for the people with the big souls. And that's who I'm looking for. That's me. I have a big announcement tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last live with my amazing friend, Michelle Skinner. Skinner is Michelle Skinner. I look at her, me, right, going, hey, Skinner. She's going to kill me, but I like it. She's going to come on and we're going to talk about the mind-body connection. Because right now, in a pandemic, condemned to our houses, hardly out, it's really hard to connect to our bodies. And this is a big lesson. And we've got a big announcement, a big something coming up for anybody who wants to be a part of it. I'm really excited about this journey, about where it's taken me. If I could tell you the heartbreak in which I started this journey, I don't think you believe me, but it wasn't easy. And now I'm living my life. And it feels really good. And I invite you to come into this journey so we can get you living yours the same way. I appreciate everybody who's taken the time to come out. Remember, give me #live, #replay. Tell me with a heart if you're already self-connected. Give me a flower if you're ready to connect, because it can only get better from here. Have a wonderful day. If you're Ontario, well, it's cold as F out there, but it'll only get better, right? Cheers.